Hey guys, what is up? It's Ollie here, and today we are taking a look at a new meta game. This is going to be my first commentary on this channel. Hopefully it goes alright. The sound should be reasonably good. I've just moved my microphone over to my new computer, so everything should be a-okay for that. So I'm running Kassadin jungle. In runes, I am running attack speed marks, armor seals, I believe ability power glyphs, and armor quints, or armor glyphs and ability power quints. Both work just as well. So at level 1 I'm going to be taking that W. I've got a Janna support, so I'm going to get that AD shield, and as you can see I didn't even need to pop a health potion there. And that's very important because actually every health potion counts in the jungle, no matter what jungle you're playing, unless you're Warwick. So I'm moving straight over to the right. I've got to ward that because I am worried that of course Jarvan will be stronger than me early game, and that is just something I have to take into account. So Ahri gets first blood. Top it is AD Ahri versus Darius. Darius did spec into AP defenses, but that's no problem. So I come mid here, just get some presence. I can take it as turrets with no problem because it's Heimerdinger. I smite that one to make sure I get as much damage reduction as I can from this Heimerdinger. Now we know he's baiting, and unfortunately I do a bad job of flashing. Like if I had waited half a second I wouldn't have died. I could have flashed over the wall with Dinger. But instead I get killed, which is no problem because everyone has burnt their flash there, and actually Zed comes out a tiny bit ahead in that one, as far as you know, and then he walks mid and does take the tower shot, which means Donga does get a free kill. So that isn't really too much of a problem because Donga isn't out CSing Zed, and that's very important in this game because you'll find that Donga is very good at shoving the lane and just knocking people out by out CSing them hard. But the good thing about Zed is he can farm under tower almost perfectly regardless of how much damage he's taking because of his just general sustain and lifesteal. So as you can see here, I'm going to come top, and Ahri is overextending because she's ahead, which is perfectly fine, except she hasn't warded. So she doesn't think I have much lane presence, and you can actually see here how much I get. So Darius pushes the spell. She does land this charm on me. Personally, I would have gone for it on Darius because Darius does have higher overall damage. But QW, I let Darius pick up the kill with the bleed and with E. And we did burn wards for that, and that's kind of important as well, but there's not really any big problem. So I'm just going to go out back to my jungle. I need to hit 6 as soon as possible because that's when the ganks become potent. Donga does shove out mid. Zed isn't really got that sustain yet, so I'm just typing this Donga in chat because he's still annoying as shit. Dongas are always annoying, and that's kind of something you have to watch out for. If you can shut down a Donga, he is really weak, but if he gets ahead, he can pretty much 3v1 regardless, because once he gets on you, as if his super turrets are ahead, then it's over. So I come mid here just to shove some pressure, and I actually get the spell on my E, and then I went kind of half AFK there. I was moving around to check their buffs and get the reset. Jarvan had very cleverly positioned himself and was actually waiting for me. So he forced my R and then ulted me, and that was a free kill for them. However, Zed once again picks up a retribution kill, and that kind of puts Zed in a good position, even though Donga did get that kill. So I'm going to come top again here. Darius has just said no ult, and he's got his pull up in just a second. So he's going to actually pull Ahri, and I'm saving my Rift Walk here because I know Ahri's going to charm me, and I don't know if she does have flash. She probably didn't, and I do W her for the kill. The AP scaling is disgusting, and I don't even need that much damage to use it with red buff because that's a good like 150 odd damage. So the W just secures the kill. The W is really what makes Kassadin jungle so strong. The bonus auto attack damage without having to activate the passive anymore is really great, and of course it gives me that natural mana sustain in jungle, which is really nice. So I'm going to come mid here, shove Heimerdinger, put some harass on him, and so Zed just waits for the turret. He didn't actually have to flash here because I did E smite it, but he gets the kill on Donga, so that's totally worth. He has double buffs, but not quite sure. Oh, he got that from the Jarvan earlier. So me with my bad map awareness hasn't realised Ahri's roaming from top. So Zed is pinging that, but he's realised by the time I've gone too ham that it is too late for us to go back on that. So he does die, Ahri picks up the double, but Zed picks up the 2 kills. So actually that works out very well for us. So we are pretty even in this game. I'm just trying to stay up in levels because the issue with Kassadin is if you do fall behind, because you have to be in melee range with the new W, it can get very, very difficult to stay in the right area. So here we are fighting over the pink ward, trying to keep some vision. Janna with the range is obviously taking that out, and then Leona's just trying to stand here. I'm not quite sure what she's doing, so I burn a combo on her, then Kate does, and it's over for her. So at this point, I go to duel Dana. She gets under the tower belly, and I think Janna misses the tornado, which means I have to kind of dive in. We got the W for the kind of, it looks like extended range, I'm not too sure how that works. The Janna shields me, and then Janna does a clutch flash ult just to get me out, but unfortunately Ari does have ult, so she can get around that. And she does pick up a kill there, and I believe she might pick up a second one here. She does. And then I believe Caitlyn actually misses the net here, so we kind of get ourselves in a sticky situation here, but that isn't really any problem. So everyone's just dancing around at the moment. And I'm not sure why this bit isn't fast forwarded, but for some reason it isn't. I assume I'm going to come back here or something. So basically the basics of Kassadin jungle is you still have early damage because the new W is so strong. And that's what makes him just such a strong champion overall now. His W is actually ridiculous, like the early base damage of 20 on each auto attack, well 24 with the AP scalings that I take in runes. And then the on-hit auto attack reset, so you're getting so much free damage in the jungle that your clear gets ridiculously fast. So basically it just gives you a lot of pressure overall. Kassadin obviously does not have that much gank pressure till 6. But as you saw top, if you catch someone out and you actually have a bit of CC in your lane, you genuinely can still catch them out. So I'm coming bot here to pick up, well, to try and fight them to see what happens. And you're going to see what happens here. So I come bot, Tristan was forced to flash because of my long range, and then we just turn on this Leona. She doesn't really have anything to do. I do deliberately secure the kill, and she actually complains about my auto attack damage, which is kind of what I said about Kassadin being so strong. And then I can just walk up to Tristana, get the definite auto attack because the reset, and then I can just walk away, and we actually pick up dragon from this. It was a risky dragon because we were so low, but I knew for a fact we could get it. However, I walk into the Heimer ult with Janna, so we both die there. But Zed does, Caitlyn, however, does pick up the kill. So we're still being pretty strong here overall. It is a close game still. Obviously, Donga himself can just solo carry if you don't shut him down properly. But so far, we've done a pretty good job. So here, I completely derp. Team are telling me to go in. I don't want to go in because Ari hasn't used anything yet. And the issue is Kassadin hasn't got the damage where I max E. Kassadin just doesn't have the damage to pick up anyone without using his E. And that kind of makes Kassadin weak when chasing. Because I hadn't had the time to spam any spells, I just didn't have the chase potential that my team needed in that situation. But so bot gets ganked here. This was very bad on our part. We actually lost a whole 3 turrets from this. So we basically just get picked off one by one. The charms, the range, and just Ari being fed basically just kind of sets us behind a little bit here. So they actually do push off a triple turret. Kate and me just repeatedly get caught, and then Janny gets caught. So overall, that wasn't too good of a play. But we do keep the inhibitor, and that is actually a key part. But we do have a little flame at each other here. To be fair, everyone does get frustrated, and that's fine. Because from that, we decide to go make a constructive play in the jungle. I go zone Tristana, so she can't influence the fight at all. And then we find Jarvan, and this is actually quite funny, so that's why I slowed this bit down. So we're all putting damage out, and the one auto attack from Jarvan does get the kill on the Jarvan, which was quite funny. But so as you can see, if you're trying to win solo queue, you could, we probably shouldn't have flamed at each other at all. But sometimes the constructive stuff about saying how their map awareness wasn't that great, and how like they didn't come down and help, and we were just stating facts, and they knew that as well. And from there, we managed to actually go straight into their jungle and make a play from it. So even though we did lose that triple tower, which was possibly one of the worst things I've seen in a long time, we did manage to make a play from it. So they're doing dragon at the moment. I can't really get down there because Ari will just shove this. So my best option is to duel this Ari. Now every bit that happens here actually comes into effect. So I throw the Q out at the start of the fight. That actually blocks Ari's W completely, and it saves me. The magic damage shield is pretty obese with the scalings, just the Lich Bane and the jungle AP item, and you can pretty much tank through all of that. I think it's Spectral Wraith, I can't remember the name of it, it's the AP one. So I'm going to go back mid here, you got to keep farming, that's one of the things to keep up in levels, you just never want to stop farming. So Zed actually makes a really great play here and just dives in 1v3 and actually fights them. So I slow it down here. Because this is where Kassadin is really strong. Once you've got the advantage, you can pretty much just shove it. Because of the ongoing slows with your team fight, you just have unlimited ease. It's just literally cooldowns that are the issue. However, I do get poked a bit low here, and I make a stupid play in a second, which is stand over a wall for too long. And Jarvan does see me, and that pretty much means that Jarvan sees me, and that pretty much means I die, so that's not really that great. But we do manage to pick up kills from that, so it's absolutely fine. So I'm going to go and walk back to mid now. There's not really much happening, we're just farming. Basically, there's a long period here, I believe, if it's this part here, which is the part where we just literally walk around farming stuff. We just walk around farming stuff, and this is kind of where Kassadin does get so strong. Sorry for the delay there. But once you honed in over court, that Ahri would not have died, but I can catch her where no other jungler can. And Janna makes an absolutely clutch tornado ult again. And from there we pretty much just pick up. And this is where we change the game around, because we were losing, and Janna basically makes the play so we're not losing anymore. So Zed here will get trapped on the tower in just a second. It was a nice play from Jarvan to get him trapped, but you can see here I'm sticking around the back because if I walk any closer I will die instantly. But now they're focusing on them, I just have to wait for the burst of damage that I need, so I can almost insta-kill them with the Lich Bane. And so we get a 2 for 1 here, and at this point Darius should back out, but at this point he's gone way too ham. So Caitlyn just has to get over and we need to back up. We pick up the red buff, which is fine, and we're just going to go farm. We actually will lose mid tower for this in just a second. Kate's asking for the minions, and I can't really deny my ADC the minions. They're still going to cry about it no matter what elo you're at. So Janna picks up a funny kill here, completely stealing Zed's kill away. It doesn't really make that much of an impact because Zed is fed anyway. But Zed got a little mad, but it's okay. So we're going to roam down, secure the dragon. Securing dragon's always a big part. Kassadin has really fast dragon clear late game because of Lich Bane and his W. So actually, this is a mistake I make here. So I go in here, basically thinking the other one's caught out completely, but she was baiting. So I do rift walk into her. I do manage to get away, but because of me rift walking, it shoves Caitlyn into a really awkward position. And at this point, Darius has to fall in and protect her. And Zed does pick up a kill, but that fight wasn't worth it. Because they're going to go to Baron. I can't really do anything because they have it outside warded, and they just keep auto attack poking me, and I lose all my HP. We do pick up Tristana from that though. So that kind of puts us in a reasonable position, but I'm just saying I couldn't get in there because they had too much poke. I do have my Rabions now, and that's a really big power spike for Kassadin jungle. It just basically means all your damages are going to be increased massively. And so we're just walking around again here. We have to be careful because of the Baron buff. I mean, if we get a catch, we get a catch, and that's great. However, for the time being, we pretty much have to just walk around like derps. So we go in to defend the inhib. We were late on the rotation. They were very good at the rotation there. And then I decide I want to go in, but Zed is telling me not to. And it was a good call from him. He finds the Donger, and we actually have to run for our lives here. Or I do anyway. I juke a couple of people, get back to base, and pick up some more pots. So I'm going for a Banshees here. Banshees obviously because my Rift Walk puts me in really bad positions sometimes, and the best thing to do is something like dodging an Ahri charm can be the difference between a win or lose, and just having that instant block is really nice for just all-round defensiveness. So Donger baits with Zhonya's here because Donger's Donger, and at this point we're in a bad position again. Ahri catches me. I managed to get out with Rift Walk. That's not really a problem anymore because I have got a Ruby Crystal. Ruby Crystal is actually quite nice just on its own, but I'm building into that Banshees anyway, so that'll defend against Ahri even more. And of course the Donger, they have like a hybrid Ahri, but actually Zed gets a really clutch play here. He finds a Tristana out of place, ults her, and this point is where Kassadin is really strong again. Like no one else would have been able to catch that Leona, but Kassadin slows, and basically so that Leona dies, and from there on we can just snowball. So I have to try and get rid of this turret. I decide not to, but I think it actually kills Janna there. But Darius and me can chase. I get the slow, you see the slow go off, and at that point you just have to follow because it's Heimerdinger. So Ahri's actually coming in here, and that's what Donger was waiting for. I managed to get out of the way at the last second, and that pretty much puts us back in the lead. So I do go and look for my blue. Then Darius and Zed both die to Jarvan, because Jarvan's pretty strong. He's built a fair amount of damage. And it just basically resets us. It doesn't put us in a bad position. It doesn't put us in a good position. I mean, we wiped the floor with them when they had Baron. I did see them come around there. She types in chat. I'm not sure if they see us. We did have the superior wards in that area, so I saw them fly around earlier. So Zed actually does a clutch play and picks up Tristana. Now, Tristana wasn't that fed this game, but no matter how fed Tristana is, you need to take her out. So I dodge out the way of the solar flare. What Darius has actually done here is really great. I don't know if he meant to do it, but he's actually created a complete zone in this kind of jungle area. We have vision control, and he just created a zone where they can't jump to us. They couldn't jump to us, and they couldn't jump to Caitlyn. That's more important. So Darius does pick up the kill here. So I'm actually just walking around here, and I see that Donga is reasonably low. I could go back and get home guards, but it's risky because I know Donga is going to try and come back into this fight regardless. So I'm waiting for the look on somewhere I can burst, and here comes Donga on cue, and I can just insta-kill him. I smite the turret, which saves me, and any magic damage that comes from anywhere else, I do just negate with the Q. And that is a free ace for us, and that was a really nice team fight for us, and that pretty much puts us back in the lead and in the winning seat of this game. It's now our game to lose, and we're not going to lose it. We grab Baron for free because we can, and we're looking for a pick here. Now, their blue's up, so I'm kind of saying, well, someone's going to come and get it, and Zed gets just almighty damage with my R and E. That's enough to kill the Ahri, and from this point on, we can pretty much snowball the game for the win. I'm fed now, almost with a Banshee's Veil. I want to go back and get it, but I know it's 4v5, so there is no point in me going to get it. Like, we're stronger overall. Jarvan does have the GA, so we have to be a little bit careful. Zed finds a mega ult on Tristana, and she dies. And so, at this point, my main goal is just the zone. And then Darius full combos Heimerdinger, and I know Heimerdinger can survive that with his barrier if I don't jump in and E him. So I force his Zhonya's, and then that puts me in a static position for me to jump back into him. And at that point, we can just end the game, and GG. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Kassadin commentary. I really want to bring it to the meta, and I'll see you next time.